My favourites are the Craftsman chestnut. I wear my Craftsman chestnut at least 4 or 5 times a week. My name's Kotapo. I'm the Senior Manager Program Delivery here at R.M.Williams, and my responsibility is to take responsibility for all of the programs on website development. I'm also then responsible for the experimentation program that helps us to define that, and then I'm responsible for the analytics and then putting that through production and managing the production to go live. Well, R.M.Williams as a brand, of course, is one of Australia's iconic legacy brands, and it's so great that it's now in Australian hands. The whole legacy of R.M.Williams is about the craft. It's about building products that last. It's about the Australian dream, the dynamics of the Australian ethos, and it's our responsibility to ensure that the digital experience imbues that. The digital channels, they're essential now. Digital website is the largest store, and we run 4 locales in that. So we have Australia and New Zealand, we have the UK, US, and we have an international site which services Europe. So key, of course, it's all about the brand, and it's making sure that the brand experience is reflected in the way in which people come to the website and then experience R.M.Williams. It's like a whole new world. I had been dealing with charts, graphs, tables, and numbers up until that point. And one of my challenges has always been that connecting data with creative. It's very key. And look, there were heat mapping services that I had used that were, had given me something to that, but I hadn't got to the same level of capability as with the zoning capability in Contentsquare. It really was a game changer. The customer journey mapping, equally game changer in terms of us planning where we're going. But in that 2 weeks, I was able to see potential. And that potential to be able to transform behavior, the behavior of the design team's thinking, the behavior of the developers, and then the behavior of the leadership's understanding of what was needed to prioritize activity was fundamental. The outcome of that was that then within 3 months we were now having our homepage design data-driven. It was being led by the numbers, and the design team understood. And so suddenly out of that, subjectivity was no longer, oh, I think it should be this, or I think it should be that. That was going. And it was, oh, we know this is what's happening. We use Contentsquare extensively, but to give you an example, our homepage is probably our most analysed page. But we use the homepage as, it's the window to the site. And we want to make sure that that's reflecting the brand, and we also want to make sure that it's being optimised. We do that through a combination of Contentsquare and Figma. So we make sure that and we do this on a weekly basis. So every week we will do an analysis of that homepage where we're understanding the positions. So we have P1, P2, P3, P4, and so on. We analyse that in Contentsquare so that we look at the attractiveness right down the site. We look at revenue. We look at clicks and even exposure, so that we're understanding exactly how effective those panels are being. By then putting that information each week into Figma, we now have, we started this process at the beginning of last year. We now have nearly 18 months of analysis that we can reference. And we've been seeing significant improvements in the outcomes that we're getting on the website. It allows us to analyse not only how people are using the site, but we get to see how they're using the site. So we can do the research, particularly when we're doing our experiments. We want to see exactly how they are using that particular element or the items that we're working on, and we get the opportunity to do that. So we do get that visibility. We've been working on a major project now for the last 3 years, which has been called Project Remington. And Project Remington is all about the Omnichannel. And we're now coming to the end of the deployment of the technology to deliver that. So that consisted of a complete foundational platform, and we're using the Salesforce environment, so that's Salesforce Commerce Cloud, Marketing Cloud and Service Cloud for our digital channels. And in our stores, that was the deployment of a point of sale service called NewStore. And the combination of these and the integration of these are now allowing us to suddenly have, for example, endless aisle. So endless aisle is where when someone places an order on the website, if it's not in stock in the warehouse, it can be shipped from store. And then it allows us to do things like click and collect. And we now have on the website check store availability. So we've got this integration and we've also recently launched where if you make a purchase in store, that receipt is available to you in your account on the website. So this whole omnichannel experience is key to how we see the customer interface in the future. And where we're taking that is, we're now working with Contentsquare. This is a sort of a futures where if we can get the data from the stores, because NewStore is essentially an app, people make payments, the retail staff use a phone, they put the order in, and it's tap and go off the phone. So we can connect that with our websites, and then we'll have retail data connected to our digital data to provide us a whole of company view of customer behaviour and exactly how that operates and works. So that's going to provide us really with the ultimate window of analysing exactly what's going on and where we can take that. With the new tools coming out, we're starting to see where we can actually get the dollar value associated with it. So we're looking at find and fix, for example. And with find and fix, not only understanding rage clicks, frustrations and where they're going, but actually knowing the dollar value and therefore prioritizing what I'm going to fix first because of the dollar value. That's a real game changer for us because we've not been able to have that dollar value before. And I don't know of any other service that provides that dollar value. So it's going to be key to that, let alone that service then providing us to be able to triage with our customer support so that when someone rings up and says they're having a problem, be able to go to the session replay, actually see the problem and then fix it. That whole capacity is a game changer. It really has helped not only in terms of prioritization, but it's had a significant impact on outcomes. We know, for example, we know that through these developments, and we're not alone in the developments, of course, it's a team. We've got our advertising, our promotions, our marketing, our brand, our store, that's all part of this mix. But we do know, and we've got the numbers, that our experimentation program, our development program, our analysis has contributed to the 60% increase in revenue we saw last year. We saw a 20% increase in audience. We saw a 20% increase in conversion rate. And these numbers, we saw a 34% increase in order rate. These numbers were significant. When I started to use Contentsquare, which was the beginning of last year, so I've now been using it for about 15 months, it was the ease of use. It was the capacity to get the information that you need very, very quickly. But then the opportunity is also there for great depths.